So the government of Canada, they are evaluating the statistics of the people who are actually staying in these RNIP communities. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Canada Info channel. My name is Wolo. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant based in New Brunswick, Canada. Today is day 12 of answering your immigration questions, and I'll be answering one of the questions that was left on the YouTube video that I dropped on the first day of this series, and I'll be reading from my screen. Okay, so my question is on RNIP. I got PR through RNIP in one of the cities in Ontario. I want to change job now, but most of the jobs in my profession are in Toronto. But some jobs are demanding relocation to Toronto. With RNIP, can I relocate and work in other cities where those jobs are available and still maintain address and keep my family in the city where I got the PR? Will this not impact my application for citizenship? Do I need to continue working with employers based in the city? Thank you for your response. Okay, so this is quite tricky, and I'm going to break it down. First of all, when you got the job offer and you got the community recommendation, during the process, there is a particular question they will ask to show if you're going to be committed to living in that community. You know, you gave a commitment, and it was based on that commitment they gave you the job offer. It was based on that commitment they gave you the community recommendation with which you applied for your PR, and now you've gotten the PR. Now, you're no longer satisfied. You are looking for more opportunities. Of course, nobody's always satisfied where they are. We're always looking for something better. The rules around mobility in Canada is that there is freedom of movement. You can move from one place to another. There is no restriction. But when there is an agreement in place, right? When you have an agreement in place, the agreement that you had was that you were going to stay in that community. That was the agreement you had. And that was what gave you the community recommendation and gave you your permanent residence. Now, because you have that agreement in place and the government has an agreement with that particular community, you are supposed to be bound by that agreement for a certain period of time. It is not a written rule for you to be bound by it, but because of that agreement, right? The government has an agreement with the community, and then you now have an agreement with that community that you will stay there and you will live there and you will work there. So because of that agreement, you have to stay there until you get your citizenship. That is my recommendation. Get your citizenship. After you've gotten your citizenship, you can move to wherever you like. As long as you've not gotten your citizenship, there is usually an impact to your citizenship application. When you apply for citizenship, they look at the stream with which you came in. If you came in through express entry, you can live anywhere. If you came in with provincial nomination, of course, in most cases, if you want to leave the province that nominated you, you have to write to the province that you are now leaving the province because some people do after a while. You know, the recommendation is if you've lived in the province for 1 year, 2 years, you're not getting the job that you're supposed to get in that particular province, then you write to the province that nominated you that you have made effort. And of course, you have to show proof. You have to show proof of the effort you made, all the places you applied to, all the interviews you attended, and everything before you now move provinces. You show them evidence that you made efforts and you didn't get what you were hoping for. And that was why you are moving. Now, in this case, you're not moving province. In this case, it's a community. And the community, like I said before, has an agreement with the federal government. So because you are bound by that, you have no choice but to secure opportunities in that community first. Look for opportunities in that community. And then once you've exhausted all the opportunities in that community and there is no traction, right? You're not getting any traction, then you can explain to the community that you have gotten opportunity elsewhere and you want to move so that it does not impact you in your citizenship application. But if you ask me, the best advice I will give is for you to exercise patience and stay in that community until you get your citizenship before you move. If you have to move, and even if you're moving to Toronto, there was no Toronto pathway, right? There was no Toronto pathway. So why all of a sudden you're now seeing that there are opportunities in Toronto when you saw the opportunity to get PR in that community and they gave you the opportunity, now you want to leave. So, like I said, my best advice is wait until you get your citizenship before you move. And look for remote opportunities. If you feel that what you're doing is not enough, you can look for remote opportunities that allows you to still remain in the community for that period. And then once you have applied for your citizenship and got your citizenship, you can move. I mean, remote opportunities allows you to still get the money you're looking for, right? With employers that are hiring remotely. You should not also restrict yourself to remote employers in Canada. You can look for jobs in the US, I mean, remote jobs in the US, and get paid in US dollars while you're maintaining your job in that community. Even if you are seeing jobs in Toronto, do not move yet until you get your citizenship. Once you get your citizenship, you can then move. So the government of Canada, they are evaluating the statistics of the people who are actually staying in these RNIP communities. And you know, they post it. The last time people were allowed to submit the application for RNIP was in August this year. And since then, they've not made any announcements. They were going to evaluate the success of the program. Once they evaluate the success of the program, they want to see how many people are actually staying behind in these communities that have given endorsement. That will determine if the program will still continue or not. Although sometime in July, they actually requested for other communities who were interested in the RNIP pathway to submit their application. That was around July. But we are already in December and no announcement has been made concerning RNIP. And like I said, they are evaluating the statistics of the number of people that got endorsement, the number of people who are staying in that community, and if it was a positive program. Once they evaluate it and they see that it was a positive program, the employers are not complaining, the people who are living there are not complaining, then they will likely make that program a permanent program. But if people like you now decide to leave, right? If people like you now decide to leave and they see that the statistics of the people who got PR through that program left without staying in the communities that gave them endorsement, there's a likelihood of them not continuing with that program. They might just scrap it. Or they might not give that community opportunity again. They might look for other communities that they feel might retain the people that they've given endorsement. So I'm repeating again, my best advice is please stay in the community that has given you endorsement until you get your citizenship. After that, you can move. So this is information I came to share. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye-bye.
The truth of all the land of freedom. Here we are. From far and wide we stand on guard. Happy people, the truth of all the land of freedom. Here we are. From far and wide we stand on guard. Our home and a native land, in God we will trust. Be the glowing light, we will see the rise. Oh Canada, oh Canada, oh. Oh Canada, oh Canada,
oh Canada, come together.
Oh Canada, oh Canada,
Oh Canada.